science scholars, welcome to another science class with Miss Damilola. Today we'll be looking at water, animals that lives in water. If you could remember my previous lesson in science, I taught you about water, the sources of water. But today we'll be looking at animals that lives in water. Animals that lives in water are called aquatic animals. Aquatic. They are animals that lives in water. I know you already have ideas of some animals that live in water, especially fish. You can see in the background fishes that live in water. So you need to know more to learn more about some animals too that lives in water. Even if you already have knowledge of animals that lives in water, you still need to know some things about them. So let's dive in. And we have the frog. Under classification of animals, remember we have the vertebrates and the invertebrates. And we have the vertebrates, which are animals that they have backbones. And under the vertebrates, we have the amphibians, in which frog is part of it. Frog is an animal that has backbone and it lives in water and also in land. Yes, they live in land too. And don't forget the sound they do make, something like inside. Whenever they are inside the water, they survive too inside the water, and they hop, like they jump with their web feet. And also from there they start coming up from tadpoles. We call them tadpoles, from their egg to tadpole, and from tadpole they become froglets. That's their stage of development as it is written, as you can see that. And you can see the way the frogs look like. It's the normal frog you do see, is the frog you know. Frog too is part of the animals that lives in water. The next animal we have is the hippopotamus, like HIP for the hip. Yes, hippopotamus lives in Africa rivers and lakes. They have this giant look. Yeah, and don't think that because of the way they look, they move faster than you can ever imagine. And they love munching plants. They love eating plants. We have fishes. We have different types of fish, right? And fish only survive inside water or anywhere wet. They survive anywhere wet inside water. And they breathe through their gills. Yes, and they swim using their fins. I know you love eating fish, right? And you already know that fish is part of animals that lives inside the water. We also have the crocodile. Crocodile is very huge, and you can see the lot of scales on the skin, and they are very, very dangerous. They are very dangerous, like the hippopotamus too. But this crocodile, whenever you see crocodile, you do what? You run away. And they are mostly found in Africa. Nigeria is in Africa continent, and we can also see them in America and in Asia. Crocodile too lives in the water. They survive in the water. We also have turtle. I forgot to mention in the previous slide that the crocodile is a reptile, just like the turtle. And the reptile too is under vertebrate animals with backbone. They are reptile. Turtle, they majorly eat plants and insects. They live in water. As you can see, they sometimes go in group. They also survive inside water. You can see the turtles. These are turtles. And we also have lobsters. Lobsters are ocean bugs. Yes, they are. And do you know that we eat lobsters? Yes, we eat lobsters. They taste yummy, right? They live in water too. They live where? They live in water, and they shed shells. Their shells grow to become lobsters. And we have the dolphins. Dolphins are mammals. They breathe like human beings too. They live in water. Yes, they live in water, and sometimes they like flipsing inside water. Can you see the way they are moving inside the water? So these also, they are animals that lives in water. So many animals that lives in water that I didn't mention at all, because there are lots, a whole lot. So make sure you do your findings, and you can write any of your findings in the comment section. And if you have any other questions, you can also write it in the comment section. Hope you've learned a lot about animals that lives in water. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel to watch some exciting and educative videos for you to learn more. See you in next class. Bye.